not be the most exciting idea that comes to mind when you think of architecture, but policy encompasses, empowers, and restrains virtually every aspect of design. The pervasiveness of policy becomes clear when we remember the root meaning of policy comes from polis. Polis is Greek for city. It is embedded in the word metropolis, a large, complex, life-sustaining, or literally mother city, and cosmopolis, or cosmopolitan, meaning worldly, multicultural, knowing diverse places, or literally being a city, citizen of the cosmos, or of the world. At the heart of the ancient Greek city was the agora, an open space where different people would assemble to discuss and debate issues of the day, collectively make decisions, and together create and interpret law. The invention of the agora and the social exchange it fostered marked the beginnings of democracy. The agora is alive today in our most public spaces, where we conduct daily life and celebrate civic events. Yet the value of polis, policy, and city is not just about places, but people. As Hannah Arendt wrote in The Human Condition, the polis, properly speaking, is not the city in its physical location, it is the organization of people as it arises out of acting and speaking together. The global climate strike is a transformative initiative of the global polis, of world citizens coming together in public spaces to demand better policy for climate justice, social justice, and the future of our shared planet. How can we create a shared conversation around architecture concerning desires of citizens to create more sustainable, equitable, and engaging built environments? In fact, there is already a national conversation underway oriented around creating an architecture policy for Canada. Rise for Architecture is a joint initiative of the Canadian Architectural Licensing Authorities, representing each provincial association, the Royal Architectural Institute of Canada, and the Canadian Council of University Schools of Architecture, with complementary mandates to regulate, advocate, and educate. This trio comprises an informed and influential voice to mobilize policy. Over 30 countries around the world already have adopted policies: Denmark, Finland, Sweden, Norway, the Netherlands, or they're in the process of developing related strategies to incentivize better built environments. Unlike the building code, which sets minimum standards, an architecture policy aims high. It is an aspirational document. Like this example from Australia, policies include compelling case studies and ambitious calls to action intended to inform public debate, influence legislation, and inspire communities to create more meaningful and resilient cities amid the climate crisis, rapid urbanization, threatened heritage, and other 21st century challenges. Some policies aim to renew Indigenous rights and relations, such as New Zealand's recent covenant between the Institute of Architects and Maori design professionals. An architecture policy for Canada could similarly advance the calls to action of the TRC. Most of Europe has joined this conversation and have hosted conferences on architecture policies, most recently in Romania this past summer, where future shapers from dozens of countries were convened by the Romanian Order of Architects and their Ministry of Culture. Closer to home, the Quebec Order of Architects, after 4 years of research and public outreach, published a 2018 white paper calling on government to promote design excellence and raise awareness of best practices. In response, just this past spring, the Quebec Minister of Culture and Communications announced their commitment to work with the OAQ and Quebec citizens on a provincial architecture strategy. For the last 2.5 years, I've been working with a task force of architects from across Canada to bring this initiative to a national level. We presented at the Empowering Change Conference in Quebec City this past May, and the upcoming RAIC Festival in Toronto in October has adopted our task force named The Future of Architecture as their overarching theme. Now, as an educator, I know that students are the future of architecture. Many are fearless visionaries, unafraid to rethink the status quo and reimagine a future that is more sustainable and inspiring than today. To help ensure students and educators have a voice in this process of developing an architecture policy, I have organized, with the support of a federal grant, a series of forums called CAFEs, Canadian Architecture Forums in Education, involving 12 schools of architecture in 5 forums over 1 year, beginning with Cafe Atlantic at Dalhousie University on October 7th, next week. This CAFE initiative creates a National Agora, a common forum for conversation about polis, policy, and the future of architecture. It will be a dynamic exchange with an inclusive blend of voices from different parts of Canada. Each forum will include presentations, roundtable discussions, and debate around 4 themes. Place, with questions about regional identity, cultural vitality, land and resources. People, concerning individual and collective well-being, memory, and meaning. Prosperity, sustainable urbanism and environmental stewardship, and potential. Speculating on the role of innovation, education, creative research, and new partnerships. Cafes invite students, design communities, and the public to consider 2 primary and interdependent questions. What is your vision for the future of architecture, and what is your vision for the future of Canada? There are multiple ways to participate. Everyone can attend a cafe. There is also a call for manifestos, inviting students and anyone interested in the built environment to describe your vision, question, or concern about the future of architecture. There are multiple formats, video, poster, image, and text, multiple deadlines beginning October 15th, and multiple book prizes awarded by an impressive jury. Visit the website architecturecanada.ca, follow on Instagram, Art Canada Cafe, pick up a postcard, and join this national conversation about the role of architectural education and research in shaping Canada's future and building better cities, polis, and policy. Thank you.